Yo, so it's been a little bit over 48 hours since the Golden State Warriors were eliminated from the 2025 NBA playoffs. And while it was unfortunate that, Steph had to get injured, and obviously we would have had a chance if Steph didn't get injured, and we can talk about all the hypotheticals, but ultimately we're out of the playoffs. And it got me thinking, what is next for this Warriors team, right? 2025 to 26 season. How's it going to be? Who's going to be on the roster? Who's not going to be on the roster? And I just wanted to, discuss with you guys as to what can possibly happen. So I found a tweet, shout out Bobby Marks, that kind of shows the Warriors, roster this season. So the starting five. So these are the five players who are under contract for next season. So Steph Curry, Pods, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Reserve. So Buddy Hield. I think he has 2 more years on his contract. I think it can be waived by the team. I'm not sure. Guy Santos, Quinn Pose are team options, which means the team can kind of decide whether to keep them or not. Trace Jackson Davis is a non-guaranteed. We have 171 million left. I think that's what that means. And obviously, the free agents is the big thing to look out for. Jonathan Kuminga, obviously, he is eligible for extension. Not extension, bro. My bad. He's a restricted free agent. GP2, Kevon Looney, Kevin Knox, Guy Santos, Pat Spencer, Quinn Post, Braxton Key, Taran Armstrong. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, we don't even have to think about. They're not, Warriors don't re-sign them, please. Come on, bro. Pat Spencer, I know you showed some heart, but come on, bro. We have the 41st pick this year in the draft, and we have a couple of exceptions, right? We have a trade exception for $8.8 million and $2.2 million, which basically means that we can get a player whose contract meets that amount or maybe less, and just swap. We don't have to swap a player. We can just swap the trade exception with them. The biggest variable this offseason is obviously going to be Jonathan Kuminga. And I know Warriors fans are very much divided on where they want to see Kuminga, but I'm just going to say my personal opinion, bro. JK needs to go to a different team, just for both parties' sake. I know he is amazing, bro, but the thing that I noticed and was very apparent during the Wolves series when he did, put up a string of good performances is that every single point or every single bucket that he has is a highlight. And while that's good, it also is. It feels like he's allergic to getting easy buckets. And one thing that was painfully apparent is that he cannot play within the Warriors' offense. Every time it's almost like an ISO play that he runs where he's at the three-point line and he kind of drives. Somebody sets a screen for him and he kind of drives to the rim and stuff like that. He did have a couple of cuts where, he got an easy dunk. But I really, really have not seen him, kind of get easy buckets and kind of, play winning basketball. And I know that's harsh on him because, everybody was bad. Jimmy Butler went from playoff Jimmy to day off Jimmy. And we'll cut him some slack because he did suffer that injury in the first round. But, yeah. Kuminga, bro, I think he needs to go to a different team. And that different team could be the Milwaukee Bucks. And let me tell you why. Giannis Antetokounmpo is apparently open to being traded this season or going to a different team this season. And add that to today, right, where the Warriors had their home opener, the Golden State Valkyries, right, the first women NBA team for the Bay. They had their home opener today, and we got a clip. Look at this. So this is hold on. Yeah. We got Doc Rivers. This is JK. This is Joe Lacob, the owner for the Warriors. Doc Rivers, obviously the coach for the Bucks. And hey, this might be wishful thinking, but it low-key looks like Doc Rivers is kind of scouting Kuminga for that sign and trade. Because imagine, bro, we could sign and trade Kuminga for Giannis. Easy, right? And it might take a couple of draft picks. It might take another young player like maybe a Moody or a Pods. And look, he's talking to Pods as well. Look at that. I know Pods has been good, and I will miss him. But for Giannis, bro, Buy. Buy pods, I'm sorry to say, but yeah. A couple of other moves that they can make potentially are like, signing a very good center, which could be a Brook Lopez, apparently, who the Warriors have their eyes on, but, you know, Brook Lopez is like 40, bro. I don't think we should get him. Why add to the already aging roster, bro? But Giannis is obviously the biggest offseason target. He's been a target for the Warriors for like 3+ years now. I think Joe Lacob has almost made public that he does want Giannis in the Bay. He also perfectly fits the kind of two timelines thing because he's only 30. He's gonna give you another 5, 6, 7 years of dominance, bro, guaranteed, barring any injuries, right? So it's gonna be really interesting, bro. If Giannis does join the Warriors, bro, I'm telling you right now, it's like a whenever Steph retires, bro, we're winning every championship, damn near, barring any injuries, bro. Because Steph has proven that he can play along with anybody, right? Absolutely anybody. He does not really have a problem with the fit, especially when it comes to a superstar player. Obviously, some other players like you saw Schroeder this year come in and really struggle trying to play in the Warriors' system, and Kuminga was the most recent example of not being able to play alongside Steph. I know he did have success like earlier in the season, but like when Butler joined, it just kind of became weird, right? I do wonder though why he couldn't go back to that kind of form that he had during the Lakers game earlier on in the regular season, which was like I think April 7th, I think. And during that game, JK actually had 18 points. He had 10 rebounds. He was playing great defense. That is something that has baffled me till date. Like, why couldn't he get back to that version of himself, playing alongside Steph, Jimmy, Draymond? But hey, you never know, bro. If JK does resign with the Warriors, bro, I'm not gonna be too mad. But I would hope that the Warriors give him a real chance. Like Steve Kerr has been benching him a lot, and JK just has to get smarter at reading the plays, playing within the offense instead of having plays like drawn out for him explicitly. I want him to learn how to get easy buckets, bro. That's my biggest thing. But y'all, let me know what are your um, desires for the Warriors this offseason. What do you want? Who do you want to see in the Warriors uniform next season? And also let me know who's going to win. Who do you think is going to win the NBA championship this season and who you're rooting for? I honestly, as long as Denver or OKC doesn't win, bro, I'm okay with it. Even if the Wolves win, even if New York wins, and even if Pacers, the Indiana Pacers win, I'm fine with that, bro. I think that's really good, especially if you have a New York-based finals, bro. That's gonna be really good to watch, just the audience and everything, bro. Y'all let me know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video, man. See you guys next time.